Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together, BS, argue, occasionally agree, mostly disagree, and discuss a musical artist. I'm your host, Jason. Your other host is Tim.
That's me.
And our special guest, Prince,
Uh,
who is our longest, most supportive Patreon member. He's believed in this show since the beginning. And it's his pick, because he gets special privileges, and he picked the
Mine,
Talking Heads.
more than one.
Oh, this is your second one. That's right. He
Second
also
one,
picked
Weezer.
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 So
But eternally apologetic about
no, thank you for that. I love fucking
so
Weezer.
long. I forgot they had that many albums.
Yeah,
They
whenever
said me the albums, I went, I am so sorry.
I asked you for your
Go back
rankings,
and watch
and you
those
were like,
episodes.
"Fuck, they got a lot of records." Shit. Sometimes you pick that artist, it fucks you. But this
Yeah,
one only has 8, so we're good here.
yeah, they're not that bad.
Fear of Music. That's where we're at.
Your music.
We'd like to give a shout out to Bill for being absent today. He was actually
So,
pretty upset that he missed this one, because he was like he wanted to do this one. So maybe on the next pick, you guys can meet each other. All right, Fear of Music. I mean, I can start this one off. This is the one album that I kind of have a little bit of nostalgia for, because I had a ex-girlfriend who had this on vinyl. Um, Opening track, it's fine. It's not the best in the discography, but it gets the job done. I really like the lyrics of Mind. It's simple, but effective. Paper, I love the chorus and the outro. Go ahead and tear up the paper. Cities, top song contender. I like when they speed it up a little bit, put a little energy into it. The bass is really cool on that song. Life During Wartime, I do this one going in. It's a classic. I'd still take the Pinhead Gunpowder's Life During Wartime over it, though, but that's just me. But shout out CBGBs and Houston. Memories Can't Wait. It's pretty good. First 2 minutes are darker in tone, and then the last minute or so is really pretty. It's a nice dynamic song. Air, it's so goofy. It's fun. I love it. Top song contender. Heaven, I was getting some Don Henley Eagles vibes going on musically. But just had David's lyrics. Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens. That's some dark shit. Animals didn't do it for me. It's so goofy, it's dumb, which is the opposite of Air. Electric Guitar, I hated the vocal melody on the verses. I liked the lyrics, but the music got really repetitive. And Drugs was another meh, slow, boring, and just drags. Besides the last 3 songs, everything else though is top tier. Definitely a stronger A side for me.
Yeah, it definitely does. Life Summer Wartime is really good. Uh, Fear of Music for me was the one that it got me into a lot of other bands that were similar, well, sort of similar. Um, it That album really led me down the no wave post punk route with a lot of music. But picking up a lot of like Depeche Mode after that, New Order, shit like that. It was probably a little eye opening to other stuff like that when I listened to it first.
Shout out Depeche Mode. Shout out our album of the decade for the 90s. Go check that series out. Depeche Mode is in there.
That is true. That is true. And rightfully so. That's a great album. Um, yeah, I feel like I need more time with this album because you can feel the change coming, but it also feels like they're trying to go back to the first album as well,
Mm.
where um yeah, the dub influence is really starting to creep in, where they're just kind of finding a groove and looping it to death. Um, I do like the songwriting, like the actual songs here, like they're really well constructed.
Yes.
A lot of great melodies, a lot of good chord choices, a lot of good rhythms. Um, you can really start feeling like the African influence coming in. Um, but with that being said, I get again, much like the second album, nothing jumps out at me on here. Um, like obviously, like I Zimbra and Life During Wartime, I was familiar with. Those are hits. Um, and they're probably the strongest like standouts on the album for me. Um,
Yeah, those are the ones I had too, pretty much.
yeah, I feel like I need more time with this album. Upon first listen, though, it's one of those that's like, yeah, it's good, but do I want to listen to it again? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I don't know. I
I
mean, it again, like musically, it's good. Production wise, it sounds great. Like I can't find anything wrong with it.
It's a lot darker lyrically too.
Yeah, I mean, they've always been pretty dark, though, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean this was a lot darker than the first two.
Okay, okay.
This one's like you can feel the sad Brian Eno influence
Yeah.
creeping.
I think we about to divulge in our rankings here. Sounds like we got some mixed feelings on this one.
Hey!
Well, this is just nostalgia for me for what it brought.
And it's nostalgia for me too, because this is the one that like I said in the beginning, I
Sure.
had I heard this on vinyl like over repeatedly. So
Well, and this is one that I have no attachments to. This was a brand new one for me. And, um, kind of knowing where they end up in the discography, um, I'm starting to see it here. And it's done well. But
It's
yeah, I
also
mean,
still 2 years after their first album came out.
and it's only
yeah,
2 years, but how
Back to
different
back.
is it from the first album?
Yeah.
It's where the first album was, quirky and upbeat. This one does. This one's kind of got a Don Henley vibe to a lot of it.
yeah, that B side's
And
kind of
it left me lacking. I'll be the first to admit, though, that I need more time with it because it's not bad.
Yeah.
Color code will tell all.
it always does. Stick around for the last video. When we do Naked, we'll do our color code. Um
So does that put me on the dot?
yeah, you got the dot. You got to guess this one.
Well, yeah, I think we are going to divulge here. And I think Jason's going to have it number one.
That would be incorrect, kind sir.
Oh, wow. Then I think Jason and Prince will have it number two.
That's true for me.
That's true for me.
Okay.
You're going to have number 3.
Yeah. I mean, and I can easily see it being number two. Um, Need more time with both those albums, but just on first listen, first impressions, I think the second one was a little better.
I forgot what I was going to say again. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I'm glad that we still have 77 number 1. I thought that was going to be a hot take, so I guess not. Unless all three of us have a hot take in the Talking Head spans like flame us down below. I don't know, but My closing
Well,
notes.
we're gonna get to some pretty big albums here coming up too. So
Yeah.
My final note said I like the darker tone over the previous, more dancing vibe that it had going on, so that's why I put it number 2. Yeah, the next one's gonna be a hot take too, I think, for me. Might be a hot take.
The reissue of Fear of Music has a textured album cover. That's fun.
that's cool. Okay.
I want to say the pressing she had
Did it?
I want to say it was raised.
It
I can't
definitely is on a
remember though.
reissue.
I mean, this was back in like 97, 98 ish.
Oh, that person. That could have.
Yeah, I want to say it had the bumpy shit, but I can't remember. I can't remember the code word we had, but we had a lot of good times on the roof. Replacements, Let It Be style. All right. Yeah. Welcome to Old Drunken Discography. Up next, Remain in Light. I heard that's a pretty big record. I don't know. It was my first time going into it, so
Sold a copy or two.
I always thought Fear of Music was their bigger record, but I was wrong. So that's up next. Stick around. It's Prince's turn to guess next time. That'll be fun. And make it all the way to Naked. We'll do the color code. What else? Top songs come in. We'll talk about the artwork for the band. That's going to be a good time. Always is. What else? That was it. Be safe. And what, Tim? Prince.
Make.
Well, you go ahead.
Good
Decisions.
decisions.
Y'all both have the same name. I just realized that. Fuck.
The sound of gunfire off in the distance. I'm getting used to it now.
And then you go a little woo, and then a little whoop, 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 and then it's all, and then you're ready to go again.